In our previous episode, we met a mysterious assassin named Lucy and gave one of her letters to Father Bamph in Prontera. We also met Knight Captain Seyren, who sent us on our first secret operation to the Indigo Parrot Bar, where we met a strange woman from Marunafelds. Upon leaving the bar, we were surprised to find out that a big fire had broken out at the underground market at Prontera. Saren asked us to wait until he and his knights have conducted a full investigation into the incident. Now we are level 21. We've officially become a member of the Eden group, joined a guild, done a couple of daily quests, recruited our very first mercenary, and even faced the infamous Baphomet, or at least his illusion anyway, during an adventure quest. Surely we've gained enough experience to continue this investigation, right? While enjoying the festivities around the Prontera fountain, we receive a letter from our newfound friend Saren. It reads, December 17. In the fire of the Prontera underground market, we caught the masked man, and it might be a blessing in disguise. Come and see me, I've got a little surprise for you. Saren. A surprise? What could it be? Will it be another head ornament or a costume perhaps? Or a powerful weapon? We meet Saren across the Prontera Cathedral and listen to what he has to say. He starts with, Bun, I was busy dealing with the fire. Thankfully I managed to find something. I called you over because I've found something you need. The knights are efficient, aren't we? We ask him, You found the white mask? And he replies with, Correct. Based on my investigation, the Underground Bazaar appears to be a flea market on the surface, but it is also secretly an intelligence base for the Assassin Guild. We notice a little discrepancy in this dialogue. We remember that in our previous video, Saren was the one who told us that the Underground Bazaar also functions as the Assassin Guild's intelligence base. But here, he says that he had just found out about this through his investigations. I don't think a high-ranking knight like Saren would just forget such relevant information. This is most probably just an oversight from the writers. Going back to our conversation, we can either ask him to give us the white mask or ask about the Assassin Guild. Since Saren has been very friendly with us so far, I don't think it would be polite to be too forward here. So let's just ask him about the Assassin Guild. He tells us that the Assassin Guild is a secret fraternity in Morocco. It runs the largest intelligence network in Rune Midgards. Even the royal family has to show them some respect. Who would dare to provoke a group as powerful as the Assassin Guild? We can either respond with the White Masks or the enemies of the Assassin Guild. A powerful organization such as the Assassin Guild probably has many enemies, right? Saren replies with, That's unlikely. Based on what we know, the Assassin Guild is highly credible. I've also talked with high-ranking officers of the guild, and they haven't had any powerful enemies lately. Not to mention that they know nothing about this place. That's right. Saren told us before that not many people know that the Assassin Guild has a secret intelligence base at Prontera's Underground Bazaar. It should be the White Masks, Saren continues. We arrested a masked man near the scene of the fire. This is his mask. Is it the same as the one you lost? And Saren hands us over the mask he found. We take a good look at it and instantly notice that it closely resembles the mask we had found on the body of the mysterious leader of the group of men in white who had attacked our newfound friend Lucy outside Prontera. Saren asks, So, is it the same as the mask you lost? And we reply with, Almost exactly the same. Just as I thought, Saren replies. In that case, the plot underlying all of this is as deep as the Geffen Tower dungeon. We can ask him, How so? He says, We know very little about the White Masks. What we can be certain of is that they are a disciplined underground organization that has only started to rise recently. But their motives, actions, and whereabouts are all a mystery. Do you have any idea what the White Mask's motives might be? Here, we are presented with 3 options. Could it be that they want to silence the Assassin Guild? That the Assassin Guild stole something from them? Or that the Assassin Guild is their accomplice? Since Saren has mentioned multiple times that the Assassin Guild is a highly respected association with far-reaching influence, I would imagine that a mysterious organization such as the White Masks wouldn't want their secrets leaked by the Assassin Guild had they found out about some of White Mask's secrets. Silence them, huh? It's not impossible. The Assassin Guild specializes in assassinations and intelligence. The Assassin Guild likely uncovered one of the White Mask's secrets, or discovered some of their criminal activities. However, as I mentioned, we have been in touch with the Assassin Guild, and they know nothing about this incident. They too were taken by surprise. Saren corrects us and says, "It is far more likely that an assassin mistakenly stole something that belonged to the White Masks and hid it here." "How are you so sure?" we ask. "I trust you," Saren replies, "so I'll let you in on some of our intelligence. However, you must not tell anyone else, or the commander will give us hell." He then hands us a document for us to read. It says, "Testimony Collector, Saline. According to Witness A, before the fire burst out, I heard some sounds of an intense fight from inside, but I couldn't get a closer look. It was too far." Witness B says, "There was a woman in a white robe. She looked suspicious. She was wearing a strange white mask and carrying a big silver suitcase in her hand." And lastly, according to Witness C, "I saw it with my own eyes. The woman in the white robe waved her hand and the female assassin fell on the ground. Then, the woman in the white robe took the box from her hand." This testimony mentions a female assassin. Could it be our friend Lucy? Has something bad happened to her? After reading the document, we look up at Saren and he says, "A big silver suitcase, a wizard in white robes, a ferocious battle, and a murdered female assassin. Does anything come to mind?" And then we remember our encounter when we have just arrived in Prontera. 3 Z-Gang members stole our bag, and then a woman in white robes appeared. After taking the white mask that had fallen from our bag, she immediately disappeared. So we tell Saren, "I've seen the wizard in white robes." Saren looks surprised. "What? You say your white mask was taken by a wizard in white robes? And that she saved you? Why did she do that?" We can either act proud and say, "I'm good looking," or "She probably mistook me for someone else." It's possible," Saren replies. "She may have seen the white mask in your bag, took you for an ally, and so tried to save you. Did she say anything?" We can say, "She said I was impetuous." This is also a bit inaccurate since that's not what she said. She didn't address us directly. Instead, she said,
"Why do I feel irritable?"
Regardless, we can choose this option, and Saren replies with, "Then I'm almost certain she mistook you for her ally. She must have heard the knight's coming, so she took your mask to cover you. A truly conscientious person. Seems like we have a cunning and difficult opponent." Saren looks around and lowers his voice. "I feel like someone's been watching my every move since the fire in Prontera, and that someone doesn't dare to attack me head on. The person watching me may just be our breakthrough in the investigation. Return to the cathedral and give the white mask to Father Bamph, and see if he has any insight into the situation." We bid him farewell and say, "Thank you for finding the white mask." We then think to ourselves, "Thank goodness the mask was retrieved. I should go to the church and give it to Bamph." We make our way to the cathedral, excited to bear the news about what Saren has uncovered. However, upon arriving, we find Father Bamph lost in his thoughts. This is bad. How could Lucy... Arunafeltz... Just what is the truth? We tell him, "I found the white mask." This stops his train of thoughts, and he says, Ah, you found the white mask? Very good, just leave it there. Thank you for your trouble. We try to express concern for Father Bamph by saying, "You seem troubled." You're right. The truth hidden behind this white mask might be something truly horrific. But what I can't explain is this. Have a look. He hands us a fire obituary where we find... Huh? Lucy? Our friend? She was among the people who died in the fire? This can't be right. We hand the obituary back to Father Bamph, who says, "Isn't it depressing news? Even Lucy has been killed." We give him our sympathies and say, "I'm sorry for your loss." My loss? It's no loss. She was only a mercenary. I paid her and she did jobs for me. That's all. What I'm sorry about losing is the incident she was helping me to investigate. Never mind, I can't tell you about it. We can tell him Saren's theory that Lucy might have stolen something that belonged to the white masks. Father Bamph was taken aback by this. What did you say? Saren gave away secret information like that to you? What a chatterbox. Fine. That girl took something that she shouldn't have taken. What a headache. And then we remember that we handed over a letter from Lucy to Father Bamph. So we ask, what did Lucy write in her letter? Father Bamph says, she wrote that their investigation was complete, but that she could only report it to me in private, and asked me to meet her somewhere secret the next day. But she didn't survive the night, and what I asked her to investigate is now lost forever. Is there any way I can help? We ask. You're willing to help? You and Lucy had only met once. I guess she was pretty attractive, but a little too stupid too. Speaking of helping, I was going to ask Ulysses to do it, but I think I'd better not. You seem better for the job. Come, look at this. He hands us a newspaper page which reads, Saint Blessing, the Requiem of the Underground Market Fire. News. To alleviate the negative effects of the Underground Market Fire, the church priests will hold a blessing procession toward where the fire occurred. They will be escorted by the knights. A religious procession. Interesting. We give it back to Father Bamph, who says, the newspaper mentions prayer rites held by the clergy. If not for that incident, this kind of errand would never have fallen to Father Paul. No use in elaborating. I'll tell you my plan. What's the plan? We ask. Did you know that when a person dies, their soul will linger somewhere for a while? We cannot see it with our bare eyes, as these souls exist only in the ethereal space. We can get right to it and ask him to continue with the plan, or ask, what's the ethereal space? To which he replies with, in simple terms, the ethereal space is a parallel world where spiritual entities exist. A powerful and perennial wind of ether blows through it, so souls can only dwell there for a short while after death. Lucy died a terrible death, so I'm afraid her soul has probably broken into several pieces. If you can find the pieces of her soul, you'll be able to learn more about her life and even speak to her. But the cursed scene of the fire has been sealed off. Normal folk like us have no chance of entering. What I'll need you to do is infiltrate the burnt ruins as a cleric taking part in the prayer rites and obtain the pieces of Lucy's spirit. Take this potion. It should help you in finding the spirit pieces. Disguise as a cleric and meet the group. Another disguise? I thought adventuring was as easy as defeating frightening monsters with your party mates. I never thought I'd become a secret agent or something. We leave the Prontera Cathedral to find a private location to dress up as a cleric. Alright, now we are dressed as one of the members of the clergy. I don't quite see why we all have to have the same hairstyle and hair color though. Once we've suited up, we look for Father Paul. We see an old priest with brown hair standing next to the members of the clergy as well as some guards. He looks quite grumpy and is mumbling to himself, "Why is the person running late not here yet?" We cautiously approach him and he greets us with, "Amen. The team that will conduct prayer rites for the Underground Bazaar fire is ready, but one of them hasn't arrived. We can either prepare first or tell him that we've come to take part in the prayer rites." And when we do, he angrily says, "You've come at last. The people have already started to gather. How can you be so tardy as a member of the clergy?" Forget it. Get in position and don't forget the rites for prayer. Oops, we got scolded by Father Paul. We need to make sure not to anger him anymore, lest we want him to find out that we're merely in disguise. "Come, we're waiting for you," Father Paul says impatiently. We think to ourselves that we have to go meet up with our teammates and that we cannot stray too far away from them or we'll get spotted. We then take our place in the front row of the procession and learn the praying gestures from the nuns. Father Paul announces, "Now that everyone is here, we're going to practice the movements. Holy light, grant us the power of blessing." When he says this, we have to splash holy water on our left. Father Paul continues, "Holy light, grant us the hope of blessing." And when he says this, we have to splash holy water on our right. And the old priest ends the rehearsal with, "May the holy light be with us." And here we have to make the sign of the cross and chant blessing. Once done, Father Paul says, "Good, let's move out." I hope we don't mess this up. The blessing procession starts and we follow Father Paul's lead. He makes a brief stop and says, "Those poor in divinity are blessed, as heaven is there for them." We observe that the nuns are splashing holy water on their right, so we quickly try to do the same. Father Paul proceeds to walk forward, and after a while, he takes another pause. He prays, "Those in sadness are actually blessed as they receive comfort." And we see that the nuns are splashing holy water to their left, so we quickly do the same. Father Paul preaches to the crowd, "Those showing compliance are actually blessed as they receive land ownership." That doesn't sound like it has anything to do with the fire, but... Oh, the nuns are splashing water on their right, so we have to do the same. We all march forward only to stop after a few steps. Father Paul says, "Those who hunger for righteousness will be satiated." We follow the nuns' lead and splash water on our right. I think we're doing our best over here so far, but that merchant seems to have spotted us. Look at that person over there. He seems a bit weird. The female merchant points out to her friend. Is she talking about us? Well, as long as Father Paul doesn't notice. He continues, "Those showing mercy are actually blessed as they receive mercy in return." And we follow the nuns' lead once again and splash holy water on our left. In the end, Father Paul preaches, "Those with pristine minds are actually blessed as they see the Lord." This is when we make our final holy gesture. It seems that the procession stopped for some reason. Whew, that was nerve-wracking. I've always wondered why Odin worship is portrayed very similarly to Catholicism in the Ragnarok franchise when Odin is a Norse god. Well, going back to our story, now is the opportune time to sneak away and head to the Underground Bazaar, but let's take a quick look around. Father Paul announces, "Our parade is here to pray for the city's blessing. Please let us through." It turns out that our procession was stopped by the Prontera guards because they fear for our safety. Some of the nuns are whispering among themselves. Oops, I forgot one of the prayers. We talk to a few of them and they say things like, "Whew, I finally finished. I hope that the deceased can rest." And the legs are so good. Was this not translated correctly? Maybe she meant to say that her legs are so good because she's been walking and standing for a long time? We approach one of the guards escorting us, and he says, "I haven't been standing here for long. It feels like a distant dream the last time I stood guard here." After a while, we figure that it's time to do what we are sent here to do. We go near the entrance to the Underground Bazaar and find a few guards standing. One of them stops us and says, "The scene of the fire is ahead. No admittance to non-official personnel. Why are you here?" We can either say that we're a member of the church or that we're a member of the Knights. Since we were disguised as a member of the church, we choose the first option. He replies, "Ah, a cleric. Please enter." The Knights enjoy messing around inside, not taking anything seriously. "But you look like a fresh face. I guess the church has been hiring many new acolytes." It seems that it's good that we chose to say that we're a member of the church, since it looks like the Knights aren't doing their job. I really wish someone would cover my shift. I want to watch the prayer procession too. The fire scene sheriff grumbles. We head inside and we find the Underground Bazaar in a really bad state. We recite the spell taught to us by Father Bamph and enter the ethereal space. Confused, we say to ourselves, "Is this the world of the spirits? Lucy's spirit seems to be imprisoned." And we hear a sinister voice saying, "I smell it, the smell of a pure spirit." Spooky. I guess we have to defeat them so that we can collect Lucy's spirit pieces. The vengeful whisper says, "Mere humans. I've actually been hurt, damn it. Feel the coldness of this world." After defeating one, we think to ourselves, it seems that spirit pieces can be obtained after eliminating the revengeful whisper that imprisoned Lucy's spirit. We pick up one spirit piece and proceed to defeat the next vengeful whisper. After defeating the final vengeful whisper, we think to ourselves, there isn't much time left to stay here, quick! Upon picking up the last spirit piece, we say, "It seems that there are only so many spirit pieces left in the ruins of the fire." We then head out of the Underground Bazaar and make our way back to Prontera Cathedral. After giving the spirit pieces to Father Bamph, we can see that he is surprised. "Heavens! You only found 3 spirit pieces?" It would appear Lucy endured unimaginable suffering before she died. These spirit pieces are damaged to varying degrees. Triggering the memories within them will take a large amount of mana. I can only do them one by one. After we level up, Father Bamph continues. "In addition to my magic, we'll also need collector crystals to retrieve the memories in the spirit pieces. There's one in the drawer below the shrine. Please bring it to me. I must make some preparations before the rite." We leave the priest to prepare and go in front of the holy shrine to take a collector crystal from the drawer. Afterwards, we go back to Father Bamph, who says, "Yes, that's the crystal. It will materialize the spirit pieces you've collected. Use the crystal on the empty patch of ground there." We take a few steps to the east and use the energy crystal as instructed. This then summons 3 of Lucy's spirit pieces. We go back to Father Bamph, who praises us. "Excellent. The soul shards have materialized. Next, I will start to activate one of them. Powerful magical ripples will be triggered during the process, so you'd best keep your distance or you'll be hurt. Are you ready to synchronize the spirit pieces?" And we can tell him that we're ready. "If anything wrong happens, remember to pull me to safety." I don't know if I can do that, but let's be careful."
The memories of the past will not vanish. Please tell me through the whisper of ghosts.
After the old priest has collected a memory from one of Lucy's spirit pieces, we touch the soul shard to access it. What is this? Memory perhaps? There seems to be a young boy on the left and an adult lady standing next to him. Could it be his mother? And look, 2 masked men sneering at them. They must be Freyan devotees. We go back to Father Bamph to ask him about this memory fragment. He says, "Heavens, this singing child. He looks so familiar. And that resplendently dressed lady." We ask him, "Have you met them before?" "Not just met. This is from that incident." The old priest falls silent. Visibly distraught, Father Bamph says, "Sorry, adventurer. We will stop here for now. My mind feels confused. I'll contact you once I find out more." Out of concern for our newfound friend, we press him further. "This is about Lucy's death. It's important." Father Bamph answers, "I may have spoken coldly of her before, but this girl died because of my mission. I've prayed for her so many times. But the lady and child in this image seem to have something to do with that incident, which suddenly reminded me of something. But my memories have taken a shock and I don't know where to begin." There's no point in saying more. I pledge on my decades-long honor as a clergyman. I will contact you once I have settled down and found out more. We can either say, "I'll trust you for now," or "I await your good news." And the screen fades to black. Just like Prontera's underground market, the death of Lucy left a permanent scorch mark in my soul. The masked organization, missing adventurers, the death of Lucy, the White Witch. It reminded me of the terror when I lost my way in the hazy forest as a kid. So the clues discovered from the spirit piece becomes the only light in the haze. Here, the second chapter of our long journey ends. I think we'll have to wait until Father Bamph has calmed down and cleared his mind. In the meantime, we ought to level up some more to hone our skills, since it looks like this is going to be a long, challenging adventure. Like in our previous video, we are left with many questions. Has our new friend Lucy really passed? Who is the singing boy and his mother in the memory fragment? Why did seeing them make Father Bamph feel so devastated? And who is that White Witch who really seems to have been behind the fire at the Underground Bazaar? Tune in again next time for another chapter in Ragnarok Origin's main story arc. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification icon below to be notified the next time we upload a video. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next video.